Devontae Tank Davis. Let Shakur Stevenson. Devin Haney know y'all ain't built like that, bro. Keyshawn Davis is not the best fighter in the lightweight division. Keyshawn Davis ain't even the best lightweight in his own stable. That honor, in my opinion, belongs to Abdullah Mason. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, share the video. We live Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday night at 7:30. Also live Sunday morning with the Singing OG KC Boxing Network. Sunday morning is 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. I just watched the interview on Fight Hype that Abdullah Mason gave. Go check it out. It's about 16 minutes long. And him and the guy from Fight Hype, they talked about a lot of shit, right? One thing they talked about was the guy from Fight Hype who, was at the Tank Davis, Lamont Roach press build-up. He said he interviewed Tank, and Tank Davis was very complimentary of Abdullah Mason. And basically, he said, Tank said that Abdullah was better than, guys like Keyshawn, guys like Shakur. And Abdullah Mason said, I agree, right? And we've also heard Kenny Ellis speak on Abdullah Mason, after me, by the way, which is very odd. Kenny, you be watching my shit, man. You be watching my shit, studying these fighters that I be studying and shit, man. I think you do. Shout out to the whole team, though. You know what I mean? I think y'all be watching your boy. But Abdullah Mason said, I agree. And I've been on this shit before anybody else with the young king, Abdullah Mason. And I gotta say, bro, I like his confidence in this interview. And you can just kind of tell how them boys move around him, dog. Abdullah done been in the ring with all of them. Sparred with Keyshawn, sparred with Shakur, sparred with Floyd Austin. I don't think he been in the ring with Tank. I gotta ask Valiant, bro. I don't think he sparred with Tank Davis before, but he been in the ring with them dudes. And them dudes, they talking about everybody but Abdullah. If you listen to them talk they shit, Keyshawn talk his shit, Shakur talk his shit, they don't really say shit about Abdullah like that, number one, right? Number two, Abdullah Mason is a prodigy, bro. Like, I don't think people understand, and I've heard, and it's this weird thing in boxing, right? People will rank the amateur fighter who had to stay pro till he was 22 years old, 23 years old, higher than the boxing prodigy who turned pro at 17 because he was so cold and didn't find a need for the amateurs no more. It's very weird to me, bro, because I don't view boxing that way. I put a premium on dudes that's able to turn pro prodigiously at a very fucking young age. And Keyshawn Davis fits the mold of the highly decorated amateur, silver medalist in the Olympics, highly decorated amateur in national tournaments here in America and things like that. Shakur Stevenson fits that mold. But both of those guys stayed amateur much longer than Abdullah Mason. And the national tournaments that they won, he won them bitches too as an amateur. I've been in a debate about this before, but it's relevant because Abdullah has a fight coming up next week, and it's relevant because Abdullah just gave this interview to Fight Hype, so we gotta talk about it. And so I think it's important to note that if you look at the amateur records of Keyshawn Davis and Abdullah Mason, you'll find that a lot of the same Junior Olympics, Junior National titles and shit that Keyshawn Davis was finishing second in, Abdullah Mason was winning those tournaments. If you look at their professional experience, Abdullah Mason has 17 pro fights, and he's 5 years younger than Keyshawn Davis. He's 20 years old. Keyshawn's 25. Keyshawn has like 13, 14 professional fights, and he's 25 years old. So when I look at both of these fighters fight, to my eye, Abdullah looks faster. He looks very comfortable on the inside. His power looks much more pronounced. He has more knockouts than Keyshawn Davis has fights. Right? And if you just look at how Keyshawn was trying to shit on Abdullah Mason, then he ended up walking it back a little bit, you can see why. And you'll hear them, you hear these guys call out Floyd Schofield, you hear him call out Raymond Muratalla, right? You hear them talking about all these prospects and all that shit, but ain't nobody talking about fighting that young man Abdullah Mason, bro. And I think it's because real recognize real, talent recognize talent. And when you look at that young man, you just see the jab, you see how mean he is, you see the way that guys react to his shots, and it's different from any of his peers. And I believe, bro, you can have your Keyshawn Davis, you can have your Floyd Schofield, you can have your Kermel Moulton, you know, you can have your Raymond Muratalla, you can have your Shakur Stevenson. I'll take Abdullah Mason over all them guys, bro. And I feel like these dudes better get him now, because if you let him wait till he's 21, 22, which is happening because he's only 20 right now, you let him wait till he's 21, 22, and he start getting title shots at you dudes, bro, shit gonna be over with, because he's gonna go up with Keyshawn. That's why I'm comparing him to Keyshawn. Him and Keyshawn gonna be at 135 around the same time, 140 around the same time, 147 around the same time. Their paths are going to inevitably cross. And if Keyshawn wants any shot to beat that young man, he better be trying to fight him while he 27 and Abdullah 22, while he 26 and Abdullah 21. Because if he waits till he like 30, or, you know, and Abdullah's 25, and they both at junior welterweight, they both at welterweight, if he waits that long, bro, it's going to be curtains. It is going to be curtains. So you better catch him early. And I understand Keyshawn Davis is a world champion, bro. I understand that Keyshawn Davis is a highly decorated amateur. But if you look at both of these guys' feet, if you look at both of their just pure raw talent, Abdullah Mason is a far more talented fighter. And you can tell simply based off how their careers have gone. As I said earlier in the video, every tournament that Keyshawn Davis lost as an amateur in the Junior Nationals and Junior Olympics, Abdullah Mason won that shit. When Abdullah Mason had an opportunity to continue his amateur career and go to the Olympics, he felt like he was good enough to turn pro at 17 years old. Keyshawn Davis took another route and another path. And he stayed amateur for like 4 or 5 years longer than what Abdullah Mason stayed amateur as. Abdullah Mason will be in a position to be a champion by the time he's 22, 23 years old. And have more fights under his belt than Keyshawn Davis. By the time they fight, based on the trajectory of how they're fighting right now and how many fights they currently have, Abdullah Mason will have more professional experience. It's crazy to think about, right? And if Keyshawn, this is why it's important for guys to step up their level of competition. Because if Keyshawn keep fighting showcase fights, and Abdullah Mason gets to the point to where he's fighting the same level of opposition as Keyshawn ain't gonna be no more ready for him. Keyshawn need to be battle tested by the time them boys square off. And I keep bringing up Abdullah Mason because I think he the one out of all them dudes. Like, people like to talk. I'm not as high on Raymond Muratalla as I was before he fought Tevin Farmer. I thought he looked like shit against Tevin Farmer and got exposed a little bit in that fight. I want to see how he. I'm not concerned about Raymond Muratalla. The Zaire Abdullah fight is tough because Raymond Muratalla can take some punches. Abdullah bringing that shit to your front door. But so that does worry me. But the main thing is what I saw how he fought against Tevin Farmer and how he was able to get looked at in the mirror and struggle with the boxing skills of Tevin Farmer. I'm not as high on Muratalla as I once was. So I think the two out of top rank right now, the two best lightweights they got, is Abdullah Mason and Keyshawn Davis, and them boys on the collision course, man. And there's this quiet confidence yet killer assassin of Abdullah Mason that's just really sticking out. He not doing all the talking. So I think Keyshawn will end up being a bigger star. I think he may end up, being more charismatic. But Abdullah Mason is out here making some noise, bro. He's out here making some noise. And For me, this ain't me just saying this shit. This ain't me just telling y'all no shit that I don't believe. I've been telling y'all from jump. From the moment I started covering this channel and I started studying these fighters harder so I could give y'all the best content, I said that boy Abdullah Mason gonna be special from the time he stepped into the game, bro. And I'm telling y'all right now, they need to try to get him right now, because the older he gets, the harder it's gonna get for all these guys. So if Tank don't get him, which I think Tank gonna get him, get all of them. But if he don't get him, because he's the oldest out the bunch, Abdullah Mason's right there, bro. These boys stuck between a rock and a hard place. I'm telling you, man. So you can have your Keyshawns, you can have your Shakurs, you can have your Schofields, you can have your Muratalas, you can have your Tiafimos, you can have all that shit, bro. I got Tank Davis for that generation, and for the new generation coming up, I got Abdullah Mason, bro. Straight up, them the best two. And y'all watch what I tell y'all happen, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Top ranked lightweights, Keyshawn Davis, Abdullah Mason. Who you got? I'm rocking with Abdullah. I'll see y'all soon. We gone. Peace. Javante Tank Davis. Let Shakur Stevenson. Devin Haney know y'all ain't built like that, bro.